Hello, it is Monday. I'm almost getting on a regular schedule here, July the 12th. I want to tell a funny story. Funny to me, probably not funny to anybody that's ever been in a committee, been on a board of directors, or worked for me, or had a meeting with me. This has long been a standing joke. This is a copy from 1993. For you who don't know, my name is Robert. And this is the classic manual for parliamentary procedure, which, believe it or not, our Constitution follows the original content from General Henry M. Roberts' last revision of his classic work. This has been updated. All the old language was taken out. And I have been in so many committees since I was in college that when I ever say we are supposed to be following Robert's Rules of Order, they thought I was talking about my rules and my order. And I would bring this book, and as you can see, nobody ever looked at it. They just would glaze over. So, I don't know how far we get because I only get like 15 minutes in here. But this is the world made by hand. I've been talking about it. I'm going to read you a chapter. So the world has gone to next week. The way it's going, financial collapse. 2 major cities are gone. Paper is worthless. Those who have silver don't know exactly what it's worth, but pretty much a silver dime is worth a day's labor. There we go. Me and my congestion. So, last few years they had a pandemic. Oil prices went up. Oil shortages. Paper collapsed. Talks of civil war. And this was back written by James, probably around 2002 and published in 2004. It's just short, and if you'll just hang in there with me a few minutes and give me a like, let me working on my voice and keeping my vocal cords working. Naturally enough, the first order of business was a call for an accounting of how the New Faith Brotherhood happened to buy the high school and how it was paid for exactly. And that was when Dale Murray disclosed that Brother Job had signed a contract to buy the school on a 10-year option term at $5,000 per year on an eventual purchase price of $5 million. What became of the first $5,000, Victor Gasperi asked. Well, I'll receive that in the form of a note, Dale said. In other words, they didn't pay nothing. Since when does anybody pay cash for real estate around here? And what the H is that $5 million going to be worth in 10 years, Ned Larman said. Why, $5,000 will barely buy a wagon wheel. Say that 10 times. Fiat currency, that's what did us in, Rod Sauer said. I don't believe there's going to be any U.S. dollar in 10 years, the way things are going, Jason Labonte said. I do almost all barter these days myself, unless someone has hard silver. Then how come we don't get some kind of barter agreement out of these people over at that school? Payment of some kind in lieu of cash, which is paper. Funny coming from a would-be banker, Dale thought. I thought you'd liked money, Cody. Money's important, all right. You don't have a civilization without it. But these aren't normal times. Make believe money, Ned Larman said. Pooey. There's more than one way to make a deal. The contract is signed. Maybe this council could vote to nullify it, Jason Labonte said. You can't nullify a duly signed contract like that, Dale said. Why the H not? Because I'm an attorney and I'm telling the law doesn't allow it. Maybe there ain't no law no more and it don't apply. I'd like to know what the H value that school has standing around empty, nobody using with the roof leaking. As I understand it, Andy Pendergast said, the disposal of any significant town assets requires a vote of the trustees. That's what we did when we sold the snowplow garage to Bill Schroeder for his creamery operation. Look at it this way, Dale. These newcomers are an asset to the town. The school wasn't anything but a liability, so it's a win-win for the community. I hate that GD phrase, win-win. Ben Deaver said long ago before he farmed he'd been a United Airlines executive. He didn't say that, but everybody knows that's what he did before. He didn't say much at a meeting, but when he did, it was usually poignant, pointed, I guess. The building was nothing more than a D, safety hazard. I guess this is not for kids. But who knows anymore? How was it a safety hazard, Todd Zucker said. Children were playing in there, messing around. It used to be a school. Wasn't a safety hazard then. Messing around a place without supervision is something else. They could hurt themselves, Dale said. Lock themselves in the walk-in refrigerator. Now you're talking like a lawyer, Victor said. I am one. Too bad there's no law anymore. Of course there is. It's all pretend, Ned said. Where are the courts then? They'll reconvene by and by when things settle down. Things are about as settled as they're going to get, Todd said. Several of the men laughed briefly because they knew exactly what he meant. I didn't see any court convening in the case with that Watling boy who accidentally got shot on purpose. Oh, I can't tell you that. You got to buy the book. This is just a book review, a double book review. I'm getting to the good part here. Let's move right along. Brother Job said he would accept the post. And that post was becoming the, I should have just read it all, Public Works Director. And he'd get the water working again and get the pressure up. And we're not done, Robert said, who is our main character in the book. Gosh. No, this book is not about me. I don't plan on being around when money's worthless and 2 major cities are gone and the flu has come and gone and there's no electricity and everybody wants a horse because they don't have a car anymore. All right, Dale said. Don't get all touchy. We turned to the matter of Sean Watley and the fact that nobody was doing anything about it. Stephen Bullock, the elected magistrate, hadn't commenced an inquest. Heath Rucker hadn't started even the most elementary investigation. I knew that for a fact because I was the only person at the scene besides Wayne Carp, including Bunny Williams, which is a man. I'd hate to call him Bunny. And Heath had not even spoken to me about it. So I made a motion to begin by replacing the constable, Heath Rucker. The other trustees glanced around at each other, and that's when it occurred to me that nobody else wanted the job, because nobody wanted to go up against Wayne. And so Mr. Rucker was not here to defend himself. He isn't in charge anymore, and he doesn't have to be here because we just fired him. Can you imagine how I was feeling when all this was actually happening? It was all in the news. So who's going to replace him? Any nominations? Is that a move to call for nomination? We're getting close to Robert's rules here. Yes, it is. Then say it, Dale said. Okay, I make a motion for nomination to post of town constable. There was no rush to nominate anyone. You could hear birds twittering, even evening songs outside the open windows. I imagine they're twiddling their feathers, don't you? Listening. What are these people going to do? You can nominate yourself, I said, if anyone wants to volunteer. More birds singing. A horsefly buzzed across the circle of chairs and someone coughed. I nominate you, Robert, Todd Zucker said finally. I decline. I decline because of where I stand in the Watling case. All right. Then I nominate you for mayor. That brought everybody up short. And a silence followed wide enough to drive a team of oxen through. The post is occupied, Dale said eventually. Well, we can vote you out just like that. Good for nothing, Constable, Jason said. There's a different motion on the table. Well, I move that we suspend that motion and move on to my motion, Jason said. Anyone second? I second. I don't know that you're in order on that, Dale said. I don't give a D, Jason said. Discussion? Let's vote him the H out, Rod Sowers said. Looking at what's become of our town under him, let's vote him out. Point of order. You are not following proper procedure here. Didn't you, any of you, bring Robert's Rules of Order? Its proper procedure means so much to you. Why didn't you bring Robert's Rules? That's so funny. Because I've been on a lot of committees. And I didn't even get the joke at the time because I was going by my middle name, Wayne. They vote on the motion to get rid of Mayor Dale Murray. Todd Zucker said, and replace him with Robert Earl, the hero of our story. Matter of fact, he just jumped out of a burning building to save the only available girl in town that had a child. So, you have to read the book. He may have got lucky. Sometimes duty just calls, son, Brother Job said. From the outer circle of the few non-voting observers, and he was grinning. God just got you. Those in favor of the motion to give Dale the boot and put Robert in charge, raise your hand. We can't call the vote. That's the chair's job. All the trustees except Dale raised their hands. The motion is carried, Jason said. You're out, Dale. Robert's the mayor now. And the chair of this board. I used to go into those meetings and I'd go, is this the chair? And they go, yeah, it's the chair in front of the table. Congratulations, son, Brother Job said, and everybody in the room except Dale clapped their hands briefly. Terry Einhorn actually got up, walked across the circle, and made to shake my hand. He got his hand burnt trying to... Oh, he did? Oh, I can't tell you. Oh, I already did. Yeah, he saved the girl. All right. I'm getting my 15-minute warning. Here we go. Oh, and that began in chapter... about halfway through the book here. So I'm not reading the book. I don't have the copyright to the book, but it is a good read. Surely they won't sue me because I'm needing to work my voice because I don't ever see anybody. Nobody walks up and down the street. Sometimes some car goes up and down at about 80 miles an hour. See, there's my warning. So, for those of you that wonder why being a fraternity man, beginning at a Native American teachers college that was bought by the state and ended up becoming one of the 4 universities in the state of Missouri. I am very familiar with this. So the next time I go to a meeting, which I don't think I'll ever go again, I ain't volunteering for that stuff. Although I will take a little brown envelope with some fiat worthless paper in it. But anyway, I thought I'd do something a little fun tonight. Since most everybody in the world, from Cuba to South Africa to Venezuela to Colombia to China to Taiwan to Hong Kong to India to Pakistan, are all hungry, upset, angry, and rioting, I am saved. Are you? I know where I'm going. Don't know when I'm going to get there. I've had a lot of chances, but he's still keeping me in this fleshy body for some reason. I guess because I do such good videos. All right, that's it. Talk to you later.